will discuss English as a second language learning in Taiwan, mostly focused on so-called international schools. Taiwan is bombarded with bilingual schools for the past few years. Local Taiwanese students attending these bilingual schools often very unmotivated and poorly designed English as second language ESL, intended to provide extra training for students unfamiliar with English, usually do little more than maintain students' existing level of English. For many Taiwanese parents who send their children to the international schools, these learning institutions offer an alternative to Taiwan's education system, which is based largely on memorizing learning and exam preparation. This helps to explain why, in Taiwan, international schools are made up mostly of Taiwanese students. Why there are lots of growing numbers of bilingual schools in Taiwan? This started in December 2018 when the executive branch of the government in Taiwan, known as Executive Yuan, approved a blueprint drafted by the National Development Council to develop Taiwan into a bilingual nation by 2030, to raise the level of English proficiency among the public and to improve the country's overall national competitiveness. The plan lays out 4 concepts for achieving the goal of bilingual Taiwan. Number 1, to organize demand-driven push to strengthen the English language abilities of all people. Number 2, to use digital technology to narrow the gap between rural and urban areas. Number 3, furthering a policy of bilingualism in conjunction with the development mother tongue culture. And number 4, to equip a new generation of workers and professionals with the skills they need for success. The regulation to support these was released to the public on December 27, 2021, with the order number 1100169705A of Taiwan Education and State Administration in the National and Preschool Education Regulatory System, titled Minutes of Education, National and Preschool Education Department subsidize senior secondary schools to promote bilingual and English, the main points of the implementation of culture teaching activities. The plan is very good, but in the focus of the English as a second language course ESL, there are some challenges. In many of these international schools, Taiwanese students are the ones overpopulating the numbers of these schools, meaning the local Taiwanese students who were born and raised in Taiwan are not learning from their cultural setup. They learn English in the different setups as international students. This leads to the poor practice of English as the second language, because you may find the whole class is full of local Taiwanese students, so the communication between themselves is not English, and they socialize themselves in their local Mandarin language. Another interesting challenge is that since the establishment of the international schools in Taiwan, the Minister of Education, MOE, has virtually no jurisdiction over the curriculum and the qualification of teachers in the international schools. International schools are treated differently than Taiwanese schools. Their academic curriculum, facilities, admissions, teachers' qualification, and tuitions are run entirely according to their home country's law and regulations. This is clearly stated in Article 8, 23, and 24 of Regulation of the Establishment and Management of Private Schools for International Residents. The regulations show that the Minister of Education only has a power over physical criteria such as schools' land area, teacher-to-student ratio, and establishment fund. The actual quality and content of education in international schools are entirely left to private foreign accreditation agencies. If most students in international schools are children who were born and raised in Taiwan, it makes no sense for the Minister of Education to leave the oversight of the international schools to foreign agencies. Many American schools in Taiwan, for example, are accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, WASC, a private United States organization that evaluates and then accredits academic institutions if they pass the evaluation. WASC oversees all the factors that the Minister of Education has relaxed, from academic curriculum to teachers' qualifications. So, of these challenges, I see that the education local Taiwanese students are getting from bilingual and international schools in Taiwan affects the students' learning, personal social interaction, as well as the future of the Taiwan.